We all know and love it as one of the flagship PC VR headsets of its time, a powerhouse of performance and comfort, all combined with sublime audio and technically marvelous controllers, the Valve Index. A headset that not only brought a lot of life into the PC VR scene, but is also still the daily driver for a lot of us right up till this day. And I completely understand why. This splendid system comes with all kinds of bells and whistles that are still relatively hard to find on headsets made by other brands. The finger tracking on the Knuckles controllers is something I personally cannot go without these days, and the amazing audio still has not been topped by anything I've worn on my head. Combined with the comfort, tracking precision, the displays, and all the other little nifty features, this headset still has a strong footing in the world of VR that ever since its release has been expanding and developing to new levels and prices. For its time then, the price of the Valve Index was easily justified, but we are now more than 3 years into the future, and without any change, in my country at least, it makes me wonder, is it still worth buying a new Valve Index? When the headset was initially released, that easy justification was mainly due to the amount of features it has. When we look at the headset, we have a comfortable head strap doing a great job of dividing the pretty hefty weight over your head, and the setup providing a pretty sizable field of view compared to others at the time. The lenses did their job well, but due to the Fresnel nature of these came with quite the glare and concentric rings in your vision, but I guess the panels made up for that with vibrant colors and a high refresh rate. And the audio finished the job with an amazing sounding off-ear headphone setup, making the headset alone a high-end piece of hardware that paired with its feature-rich controllers provide an even more immersive experience. It was something to get used to for a lot of us when we realized we could strap them to the back of our hands, but when you finally get the hang of it, they showed true innovation for consumer VR. Finger tracking wasn't really a thought on most of our minds, but Valve made sure to include this along with grip strength sensors, a touchpad, and integrated batteries, all as an addition to the layout of buttons we already knew so well. It made for a very versatile controller, adding a level of immersion to social games like VR chat, or just making general motions a little more intuitive by being able to actually release the controller from your grip to throw objects. What sealed the deal for me though was that this whole system runs on lighthouse tracking. The tracking method which at the time was already known for its high precision and tracking area, making the fact that it is a wired headset one of the few gripes of the Valve Index, but even that was not really a problem at the time of release. Having been released around an era in VR that didn't offer a lot of competition in the space of the high-end Valve Index, it quickly became the headset of choice for anyone that wanted a high-power flagship VR experience with a seamless connection to the Steam platform on PC. Today, however, many companies have had their hands on VR development, and standalone and wireless headsets have somewhat taken over, making VR more accessible to more people through not just removing the need of a PC, but also lowering the prices to ever-developing hardware. This makes the unchanged cost of the Valve Index quite an interesting subject for today's buyers. Those who already bought the headset around the time it was released are still looking for a solid upgrade from the features they have always been used to, and can wait long enough as the Index provides enough to make anything else seem like a small step down in one way or another. Last week, I gave my take on the Pico 4, but even with the new tech this headset comes with, for PC VR, I still go to the Index, as this still is a polished experience for me personally, and I, too, can wait for something like Valve's new hardware before feeling like I need an upgrade. But the Index hasn't always been a smooth experience for everyone. Personally, I treat my expensive hardware with insanely over-the-top care with my student financial situation. But I have heard of plenty of people who also take care of their headsets really well that still had to go through Valve's customer service a couple of times. General controller issues, but specifically joysticks, were a common theme among many people, and made plenty return their Knuckles controllers for fixed pairs as they went through those almost as quickly as I go through games. The headset itself had some issues here and there as well, and some people broke their cable, prompting Valve to provide replacements for a lot of the Index customers. So after all this time and inevitable long-term usage problems, is buying a new Valve Index really still a good option? Aren't there new headsets out there for much less that provide just as good, if not a better experience? Does €1,000 really justify this semi-outdated headset? To properly answer these questions is really difficult. The Valve Index is, to this day, a VR powerhouse, and we cannot deny that. But at the same time, the VR market has been developing and we are on the cusp of modernized PC VR, with companies like Valve working on their newest headsets behind the scenes and other companies also trying to bring some balance into the PC to standalone VR market. For anyone new to VR, there are plenty of cheaper options available with headsets like the Quest 2 and Pico 4. But even when you are a tried and tested PC VR enthusiast, it's still hard to swallow the current price of the Valve Index. We are so close to a new standard for the PC platform, and I am personally eager to see what Valve's own next project will be like, as I am sure they will answer to the wishes of many that love the Index. And I would love to get my hands on that new Deckard. So in general, I would just say, maybe wait a little bit. It probably helps your choice. Hi guys, Michael here. If you made it this far into the video, maybe consider giving it a like. If you like what the channel does, maybe even subscribe. And if you're really generous, you could even look at the link down below for my Patreon. If you want to know more about the Valve Deckard specifically, there's a nice video here by Sadly It's Bradley, and he basically just takes everything and puts it in one video. For now, I'll see you in the next video.